Yo, what's good? Rebirth Live. Rebirth Live. We're gonna give some of the guys a few seconds to get up into the stream, and then we're gonna get right into our topics today. You should be able to see the thumbnail for what we're gonna go over today. Got three topics just like we did last time. We got body game for basically how to get lean. We got like how to tell two ways that you can tell that a woman is interested in you, and that's gonna be two ways that you're probably just not picking up on. Whether it could be even with a woman that you're already with, or if it could even apply to a woman that you're simply interested in and you trying to get a little bit further with them. And we're just gonna go over two things with that, help you realize that you're getting some signals that you just ain't picking up on. And then at the end, we gotta have something at the end talking about life and success. All of this, like I said, based on my own experiences, my own knowledge. So the third one is going to be becoming a leader. And I'm going to give you some info on experiences that can lead you into leadership, different types of actions that you can take that can help you become more of a leader if that is something that you're interested in, or just even if you're not thinking about, oh, I need some help trying to become a better leader or becoming a leader at all. I'll still just give you some insight to some things that I dealt with that will help you understand what it's like to actually be a leader, or how do you even get put into those positions where others want you to be a leader, because that's important to a lot of men. So, like I said, those are the three topics we're going to get into today. Just like you see in the thumbnail, we're going to start off with body game related content, just like we did the other time. So I'm gonna give that to you first, and then we're gonna put the stuff with women in the middle, just like we did last time. And don't feel shy if you got something that you want to add into the. Let's see, looking at this right here, making sure the stream's up and running pretty well. Yeah, don't forget if you have something that you want to add into the chat or add to any of these topics, definitely you can go ahead and comment, and we'll talk about it. If I know anything about what you're commenting on, we'll go ahead and chop it up a little bit. I might slow down from some of the stories that I'm going to get into. Like I said, we'll give it some more time. Give it a few minutes, and we're gonna jump right into the topics. And then anybody else that's not in here at the time that we getting started, then they'll just have to go ahead and catch it on the replay. Which surprisingly, a lot of people actually watched the last replay. If you didn't see the last live stream that I ran last week, I just kind of threw it up there. I didn't tell anybody I was doing it or nothing, but I had a lot of loyal subscribers just go ahead. They just tuned in. I just threw it up there. I didn't schedule it or nothing. So I appreciate all the loyal subscribers that came in last time, and they just hopped in. They was listening to me pretty much just spit game, and a lot of them put in their inputs and stuff too. It was pretty fun going over those stories. So like I said, after this stream is done, this one will be up for replay in case you missed any of the topics that we're going over today, because like I said, we're going over three topics. But also, in your spare time, if you would like, you can see what the topics were in the last live stream, and it was pretty funny. I enjoyed myself on that one, so you can go back and watch the previous live stream or just bits and pieces of it. Like I said, I don't really know much about getting the timestamps for every single part yet. It was only an hour and a half long. I was wondering how long I was going to go because I never done that before, but it went an hour and a half, and then I just decided to cut it off because if I feel like the momentum's dying down, I'm not going to try to extend a stream for any reason. I don't feel a need to do that. I'll just go as long as I feel like I can just flow, and then cut it off when I can't flow anymore. So, all right, so we're going to go ahead and start with the first topic. I'm going to see if I can maybe put something up here. I'm gonna try to get some text up here. Maybe that might be a bad idea. I'm going to see if I can get some text up here. Let me see something real quick. So that looks like that's text for something else. Let me go ahead and put topic one. Let's see. So like I said, guys, we're going to talk about body game for uh, like looking lean, getting real lean, man. Because I talked about, bulking up, building muscle, but then I'm going to talk to you some aspects of what it takes to get lean, what it feels like being lean, how you actually, the mindset, the workouts that you actually have to do. We will get into some specific stuff you have to do with your workouts, but really, most of how you're going to handle your workouts in order to get lean is really going to just be based on, oh shoot, I lost the text. It's really going to be based on how you think about your workouts. This is stuff people don't teach you. Like, that's why you could look up any workout and it's going to tell you do this move, do this amount of reps, do this amount of sets. But the problem is if your mind isn't set up the right way. Yeah, that's where we at. Okay, I got a little something going here. I'm going to find out how to get that scrolling one day. Um, let's see. Oh, shoot, I think I done found it out. Let me see if I can get that scrolling. Let me see. That ain't working. Anyway, so like I said, we're going to talk about body game and getting lean. Sometimes the body game is about, there we go. All right, sometimes the body game is about how you think of your workouts when you're doing them, like the mentality that you're gonna of what you're gonna put yourself through. Let me go ahead and get this text straightened out a little bit better. But for when you're working out, I'm gonna tell you, like right now, I worked out with a woman last week, and we got to the gym. We get in there, and she's like, "What are we gonna do?" I just go ahead and I tell her what moves we're gonna do. I'm saying, "Bam, we're gonna do this, this, and this." And she said, "That sounds hard." I said, "I know." And of course, it's a no-brainer that when you go into the gym, if you really want a lean body, your workouts are gonna have to be hard. Like if you've never gotten close to throwing up while you worked out before, you've never gotten close to vomiting, you've never even done it before, or you never had to go to the bathroom while you're working out, that lets you know that your intensity is not high enough to have a lean body, believe it or not. Like most people think that the workouts have to be something that they can just make it through and it's going to skate by. That's not going to work. If you want to be really lean, like you have to put yourself through it. When me and that woman was doing that workout last week, I made it so hard that I didn't even know if I could get through it. And I pushed her, she got through it. And there was parts where I'm doing like bench press and push-ups and stuff like that. And literally by the last set, you got to make sure that you're failing to complete the reps all the way almost. And you got to make sure you're challenging yourself to that level. So the mentality behind it is, let's just say you're going to do 10 reps on any exercise. You look up any workout on the internet and it says do this exercise and do 10 reps. What you're going to do is you're going to warm up, of course, first. Warm up. Make sure your joints are kind of loose. Don't just start off with like crazy heavy weight or nothing like that. After you warm up for like one set of doing 10 reps on a lightweight, the next weight you pick, you have to think in your head, all right, what weight am I probably not going to be able to do 10 reps with? Think about what weight will I probably only get to do 8 reps with? And you're going to pick that weight. That's going to be the weight that you're going to pick to do 10 reps. So you're kind of almost going to not even be sure if you can do that weight. And then you're going to pick that and do that for 10 reps. Because now what that's going to do mentally to you is you saying, I'm scared of this weight, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to try it and see. Sometimes you may not actually be able to get those 10 reps. But the whole point is I'd rather you fail getting to those 8 reps versus you getting the 10 and then you feeling good like you could just do another set right after. If you feel like you could do another set right after you completed 10 reps, that weight is too light. So that's the first step. And this is stuff you could just pick out on your own. Like you can go a lot of this stuff you could go off feels right here when it comes to like body game. You could just go off the feels. If you feel like, okay, that 10 reps was really easy, then make sure the next time you do 10 reps, it's not. No matter which weight you pick. That's why you could do this all on your own. You can look up any workout on the internet. This applies to almost any exercise. Literally pick a number to get to, and it should be hard to get to that number. If you're going to do pull-ups, think about if you're doing body weight pull-ups. Pull-ups are easier because most people can't do pull-ups. So if you're trying to learn pull-ups, it's easy. Just stop at the number where your body starts to fail. And you have to continuously put yourself through that. Don't take a big rest before you go to the next exercise or before you repeat the exercise. If you did 5 pull-ups and then you failed, you may not be able to get 5 on the next set, but only rest like 30 seconds and jump back up on a pull-up bar, and then you're probably only going to get 2 pull-ups that time. Yeah. So you say, bro, you started doing pull-ups, Johnny, and you've been sore as hell. Yep. That's what happens. Your back, your lats, they get real sore, and that's how you know you in that environment to grow now. Your body becomes in that environment where like you keep going. One day you're gonna wake up looking like a machine. I'm telling you, because I'm already lean. I already know how fast the results can come because when you're leaner, you can see it happen a lot easier. But if you're not lean already, it's under there. Trust me, it's under there brewing. All you got to do is put in the work. The pull ups is the number one right there, though. So just like Johnny said in the chat, go ahead and get those pull ups in. You're going to suck in the beginning. You're going to suck. You're not going to be able to do a lot of pull ups. You might get five, if that. Wait 30 seconds. Don't sit here and play on your phone for like a minute or a minute and a half. Don't do none of that. After you wait 30 seconds, jump back on the bar, and whatever you get is whatever you get. Because the fact that you're making your body struggle to do 2 reps on the next set, that's the actual thing that changes you. The first 5 reps didn't really do anything for you. It's just putting you in a state where you're now your body is going to be able to grow. It's going to be able to change based on the most terrible parts of the workout. So if you don't get yourself to you're having like terrible parts of your workout where you're struggling to get those reps out, those struggle reps is what makes your body say, I got to change because this man in here doing something crazy to me. And if I don't change the way this body functions, the way that how fit this body's going to be, how much muscle I have on this body, he going to kill me. So your body's not going to let you do that. Your body is going to try to adapt, but you got to put it into a state that's going to want to make it adapt. So the pull-ups, do 5, rest 30 seconds. Try jumping back up there. Whatever you get is whatever you get. Rest 30 seconds. If you only get one, that's fine. Rest 30 seconds. If you only get one again, that's fine. Then you probably go ahead and move on to another exercise. Once you fail 2 times real quick without getting anything else from it, then you go ahead and try another exercise or work another body part. And you can keep that real simple. You can work just 2 main body parts per workout or 3 and do a little bit of cardio. And that's it. That's all it's going to take to get lean. I know it sounds simple, but the fact that people try not to keep it simple is what makes it so hard for them. All you got to do, what you say, Johnny? I notice I have become stronger during dips, push-ups, and pull-ups. The weights seem easy now. Yeah, believe it or not, body weight exercises are some of the hardest exercises. That's right. When you have to move your own body weight, that's where people struggle the most. That's why pull-ups is literally the hardest exercise somebody could do. You could get people that can bench press a lot, but they can't pull themselves up. You could get people that could, if you could do a bunch of push-ups, you probably can do some pull-ups. So that's a difference there because you get more used to your body weight. Your body weight is all you really need to get started. That's why I made a video on that where if someone asks how to get started, you don't have to start with a gym. You can start with just your body. Your body weighs something and you could barely carry your body around. Some of y'all, you can barely carry your body around just walking and running. Like just running is hard enough. So go ahead, just use your body to start pulling up, doing push-ups. Yeah, dips. I done that at the playground. I have I have my kids at the playground. I've been doing dips and pull-ups at the playground. Do that. That's gonna help. Body weight exercises. So don't make an excuse like, oh, I don't have a gym membership or I don't know how to do workouts in the gym. You don't have to start there, but if you do, keep it simple even when you go to the gym. Practice some basic stuff and like I said, whatever amount of reps, just start think about 10 reps. For 10 reps, I got to make sure that the weight is feeling really heavy, really hard to pull up by the time I get to that 10th rep. By the time I get to rep 8, I'm not even sure if I can finish the reps. That's how you know which weight to choose, no matter which exercise it is. That's the main thing I want you to remember. No matter which exercise, how many times can you, like, how do you feel before you even get to the 10th rep? Johnny, you said my body started looking different. Now I used to only lift weights. Okay, Johnny, so you're saying that you used to only lift weights at first, and then you started doing body weight exercises second, right? That's what you're saying? Because I could see that. Yeah, you get a different stimulus. You started doing weighted pull-ups. Okay, and yeah, that's all it takes. Yep, you start doing weighted pull-ups. The pull-ups change your body. I'm for real. Like most of the stuff, even with body game, like I know sometimes I use it to motivate men to deal with women and stuff like that too. It's a whole lot of other aspects of why I could tell you why I talk about body game on the channel and why I use it to motivate men in many different ways, because there are so many other benefits that you can get from it that's not just for yourself. But like some men, they're gonna watch it because yeah, if I'm talking about something that's dealing with women and your body, that makes a difference, yes. But also, and that's another topic where we could talk about how body weight can change like your confidence, the way you help motivate others. That's something I haven't talked about. Like working on yourself helps motivate others even when you're not trying to. You don't have to try to be influential when you're on top of your game, especially when you're with your body. People start asking you how are you getting to these results? How are you looking better and better and better? You don't even have to try to motivate people when you're really on top of your game. People just start wanting to get a piece of the pie for themselves. When they see you happy, when they see you successful, when they see you fit, they want to know. They want to get a piece of it too. They want some of that happiness for themselves. And then you can start helping people. Johnny, you said, "Bro, you helped me a lot. Thank you." I'm glad I helped, man. What do you feel like helped you out the most? Any of the different topics that I talk about? Because talk about body game. We talk about stuff with women, interactions with women all the time, and I haven't talked too much about different other stuff in life, but I'm gonna get to it eventually. I'm gonna start trying to share a little bit more and talk more off the cuff. So that's why I might start doing more live streams, just whenever I feel like just saying something, just pop up on here. And if nobody jumps into the live stream, it's all right because it's gonna be up there for the re-upload or whatever you want to call it, where you can rewatch it. Because I noticed last time I did that last stream, last week, more people watched the stream after it was done than when they actually watched the stream. So Johnny, you say body game. Yeah, body game for sure. You got to stay on point with that. Like, even if I sound like I got it all figured out, I'm always working. And that's how you got to be. You got to always be working towards it, always trying to find ways to improve. And even then, always keeping what you got too. Just like a rich person, when a person gets rich, their biggest job is keeping their money. And that's the same thing. When you get rich with your body and your body game, the biggest goal now is not how to keep getting leaner and looking better or building more muscle. It's how do I maintain this look? How do I maintain the muscle? How do I maintain the lifestyle? And so now you said you used to, Johnny, you said you used to be bulky, but now you're more cut. How you liking the cut look, man? Like what's the weight and the height, man? Because that cut look, man, it works. It's that cut look is where it's at. I know a lot of guys want to be bulky. That's good too. Some women like that, and some women like the more lean. It's really up to you though. What do you like the most for yourself? Because I was bulky for just a short period of time when I was like close to 200, and I didn't like it for myself. For me, I feel like I look better leaner. So that's why I'm interested to hear what you like better on yourself. You like being cut. Yeah, something about being cut, man. It's not, even though not everybody's gonna see your abs and stuff all the time, but you know the amount of work it takes to even get your abs to show, to get lean. So I already talked about the workout aspect of getting lean, and literally that's all it is about intensity. When you're in the gym, we talked about the workout part. Literally, pick a weight that you're gonna struggle with to get to 10 reps. At eighth rep, you're struggling. You barely can do it. That's all you got to do with any exercise, and you're gonna get the right intensity. You should be feeling like you're about to have a headache. You're feeling nauseated. That's right. That's right. That's when you're at the right intensity. Make sure you drink a lot of water though. And then as far as now, so that's the workout part. The other part that other people get wrong is the eating, which I have talked about a lot on this channel. And there are some examples of just tracking your calories for the eating. I would say for getting leaner, it actually is a lot more simple. You just obviously you're gonna find ways to get more protein. All right, and then Johnny, you say you get more women. You notice that you get more attraction from women when you're cut. Yeah. Why do you think that is, man? Yeah, some people, some guys, you look better in women's eyes when you're more lean. And you wear clothes certain ways too, based on your body game. Based on your body game, you get access to wearing clothes in a different way. And that's why you can see some guys will hate on another fit guy if they say, "Oh, he's wearing a tight shirt," or something, and you're trying to joke on him. But the only reason that that fit guy can wear a tight shirt is because he's lean enough and he's muscular enough that a tight shirt looks good on him. A tight shirt won't look good on a guy who's overweight. So that's the difference. He can unlock a different level of style that the big guys can't. Even if you're big and muscular, it looks a little bit better when you're lean and more clean cut with it, and then your dress shirt hugging you all over. When women can tell that you got a chest hiding underneath your dress shirt, or they can see your guns hugging underneath your dress shirt. They can see you got quads. Men don't talk about that. Quads, you got quads popping out your dress pants. Like, not saying your dress pants have to look tight, but they fit a certain way where they can see that you got quads. Y'all don't think women pay attention to it. They may not, a woman may not even know what quads are, but when they see it, they like, dang, he got muscle in his legs too. He got muscle in his legs. He got muscle here, and it's like it doesn't look too overdone when you're lean. That's the best part about it. It doesn't look like it's over exaggerated. It just looks like, dang, I can tell this man works hard for something. And that's really what women are attracted to. Women are attracted to the thought that a man works hard for something. That's why, of course, women like success, women like money, but that's also why women like guys with fit bodies. Not only because it looks good, but subconsciously or psychologically, in their head, it goes off as a radar of, oh, this guy works hard for something. And that's really what they're attracted to in any aspect. If when you have something to show for anything that you're doing, as long as it represents that you are a hardworking man or you're a disciplined man, that is what attracts women to you. And really, you make it look like it's easy. When you make it like it's easy and it's not a big deal to you, like you just doing what you do, that's very attractive, man. So, like I say, with the body game, just a quick recap is in the gym, make sure all your exercises you're about to go to failure. And if you don't know what failure is say you got 10 reps. Pick a weight that you can't do 10 reps with, and then if you can only get 8, you're going to have to squeeze out those last 2 reps because those are the reps that's going to make your body want to change so you can get leaner. Do that with any exercise. Now, as far as eating to get lean for your body, that is actually a little bit easier. It's easier because obviously you're just going to be eating less calories than what your body's going to ask you for. And that's the hardest thing for everybody. Everybody wants to eat when they feel hungry. Believe it or not, some of the best pictures that you ever see me take, and especially the bodybuilders, anybody, even the UFC fighters, you see MMA fighters and stuff, the best pictures that we have taken or looked like this is because I literally was restricting some food while eating a lot of protein. I ate a lot of protein, but I restrict myself a little bit. Like, there are going to be some nights you got to go to bed a little bit hungry. That's actually what it takes. You don't see people talking about that. I only got to this because I went to bed hungry for a few nights. It's not starving now, but you know what I'm talking about. Like when you stay up too late at night, you start feeling like, oh man, I got to eat a snack. I just want a little something. You know you're not like hungry. You know you're not going to die if you go to bed at the hunger level that you're at. The difference is I'm the one that goes to bed where my hunger's like that. And that's what gets that. You eat when you get hungry. And then that's why you look like you look. But that's okay. You can look better if you just you got to defeat your own mind. You got to learn just because your mind tell you something don't mean you got to listen. And that's where everybody fails with a lot of things when it comes to success. You let your mind overtalk you or dictate everything you're going to do. When it comes to body game, sometimes you got to have your goals set and just go for it. Your mind's going to tell you all types of different things. It's going to tell you that you want something sweet. It's going to tell you that you need something to eat at this time and that time. You know that you're not going to starve. Even if you subtracted one meal from your daily plan right now, say you're eating 3 times a day, if you subtracted one meal from that, you know that doesn't mean that you're going to starve. It means, yes, you're going to feel hungry, but believe it or not, you're going to have to feel hungry to get a six pack. You want a six pack, you're going to have to feel hungry sometime. Drink a lot of water, you eat a lot of protein, but you can't get around the fat. You can't skip it. That's why I think people they're thinking somehow they can skip past it. They think they can skip past it somehow, and that's not realistic. So as long as you get that down as far as the eating, and I don't know if you count the workout part. The working out part is very simple too. I like to keep things so simple because if I give you too many things to do at once, you're not going to do any of them, or you're going to fail quick. You're going to crash and burn. So that's why I try to keep it super simple. I don't try to explain a lot of things at one time. That way, if you want to look at a bunch of different videos, to get a bunch of information, you can. But in order to get started, you do not need a bunch of information. Most of the time, you just need to know where's the address, what do I need to do? It's literally like two things sometimes. Literally two things you need to get started in most situations. So now we're gonna move on. That's the first topic, body game for looking lean. And basically we talked about the eating and workout portion. We're gonna get over and talk about the women topic now. We're gonna talk about the women because it seems like we don't have any more questions on this one. I don't have my Cash App up right now, so I don't know if anybody donated to the stream, but definitely feel free while I go ahead and get this topic two up here. We're talking about women. Let me see exactly what I put on the title. Oh, okay. Two ways to tell that a woman, yeah, two ways to tell that a woman is interested in you. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Two ways to tell a woman is interested in you. And this could go, I'm going to put high interest because that's what matters. That's another important thing. That's what matters. Two ways to tell that a woman is high interest in you because if a woman isn't highly interested in you, you really shouldn't be dealing with them. And some guys are going to be in relationships. Some guys are going to be in relationships and you still got to pay attention a little bit like how your woman's treating you. But if you're in the dating game, which I mostly talk about men in the dating game, I sometimes talk about interactions with women in general. So this could go apply in many different ways. You just kind of fit your own situation into it. But the number one way, well, one way to tell, and there's tons of ways, is if she touches you a lot. Like say you don't know where the woman's at as far as her interest level, and she's very playful, touchy with you. And some guys might get this wrong. Like a woman could be at the point where they're kind of jabbing you in your shoulder sometimes while you talk to them, or they seem like they're trying to hit you a little bit, like almost like play fighting. And some guys, yeah, that can get annoying if you just chilling or you minding your own business and you really ain't into that type of thing at that moment. And she's trying to play with you. What that means is that she wants you to touch her. Believe it or not, women don't know how to flirt. This is a method that women use to flirt with a guy that they want to be physically involved with. If a woman's touching you a lot, women don't touch ugly guys that they don't want them to touch them back. Trust me. They don't touch guys that they don't want to be touched back by. So that's your number one way you could tell right there. That's one way. Like I said, there's millions because women are. It's not as simple as we want them to be, but they are easy to figure out when you keep your mind focused on the main things that matter. If a woman's touching you, play fighting with you, like I had a woman. Like every now and then she'll see me. If she sees me like with my shirt off or a white beat or whatever, she'll just start, messing around with me. Like I'll be talking and she'll be like, "You're not big, you're not tough," and try to punch you in your chest or something like that, or try to punch you in your abs. And you can get into that playful mode with them, man. Oh, shout out to Not a Baby Boy. Welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the stream. We already moved on to topic two. Maybe I should have stayed on topic one a little bit, but you can catch that on the replay, man. Right now we are on topic two. Two ways to tell that a woman is highly interested in you. Follow, follow. I ain't gonna read the whole name. Follow Pickle. Thought God bless you for your good work, my friend, and spreading the word on body game and healthy living. Yes, that is right, man. We already talked about some of the body game stuff, and I could go on that forever too. I got a lot of experience with that, and definitely, you got any questions on that, we can go over that throughout the stream. Welcome, sit back and enjoy. Right now, we are on topic two. Two ways to tell a woman is highly interested in you. And one of the ways that I'm talking about right now is when a woman is very playful, touchy with you. Like you had a woman, she just comes up to you, like y'all talking, and then all of a sudden she feels like she's got to punch you in your chest, or even sometimes guys don't like it when a woman grabs your butt or something like that. That's very obvious right there. But I'm just saying other little signs where you're thinking, why does this woman keep like punching me or tapping me or touching me? The reason is that woman wants you to touch her. And this is a big thing where guys mess up in general with women. Men are terrible at reading signs, but that's how women operate. They only going to give you signs. Women are not direct. And that's okay because this what gives a man a chance to be a leader. And I'm not going to bleed into topic three, but this does apply. Men don't understand how many chances a woman gives you to be a leader in so many situations. And guys will use it to get mad at the woman. Like, say if I didn't pick up on the woman jabbing me in my chest, and I'm thinking, man, why you playing around so much? Stop, chill out. And then I go home later and say, man, something was wrong with that girl. She was acting all aggressive and stuff. She was acting masculine. You idiot. You idiot. What she really wanted you to do was touch her. She didn't want you to hit her back. She don't want that. She wants you to touch her. Like, literally, what you do is you go ahead and grab them, scoop them up, because you on your body game. You should be able to pick up most of the women that you talk to, like literally pick them up off their feet. She punching you, you say, hey, yo, stop playing before you hurt yourself. That's what you say. You joke with them a little bit. Get into the playful mood, or you can get serious with them. You're like, mm, you know, you gotta really pick them up. And look at that. What you say? Pickle. You said older women are shameless in grabbing you. Young women tend to be shyer. Yeah. So even if you think about that, women ain't gonna be out up front with you with all that stuff. If they want to be physical with you, that a lot of them not gonna tell you, and that's the good girls. The good girls not gonna tell you. The ones that you don't want to mess with is the ones that's too upfront. That's a red flag sometimes if they're too upfront. I know you want to hear that stuff, but it's something wrong with that sometimes. If they too upfront with it, you actually want this where the woman's giving you signs, but you should be able to pick that woman up at that point. She start play fighting with you, pick her up, because now you ain't got to hit no woman, but pick her up and be a little bit aggressive with it. Not in a way that she thinks she's in danger, but it shows her like, yeah, I'm strong. I'm on my body game. You ain't gonna say that. You ain't gonna say I'm on my body game, but she gonna feel it. Women love when you could pick them up off their feet, bro. That's why I mean, you see internet content where guys talk about don't date overweight women. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I'm gonna tell you it's a lot more benefits to dating a woman that you could at least pick up. So for me, if I weigh 175 pounds, you gotta weigh 130 or something, because if I can't pick you up, now I can't even assert physical dominance, which all women do want that in order to be really attracted to you. They want some physical dominance. So that starts with being able to pick a woman up. So if you can't pick a woman up, go back to topic one first. That's why we started with topic one, because most of the stuff before you even get the woman, what are you working on for yourself? Work on the body game. Get some pull-ups in there. Get some push-ups in there, because if you can't do 30 reps of a certain weight, there's no way you're gonna be able to hold that woman up for at least 2 minutes or at least 30 seconds. That's what you do when she starts play fighting with you and touching you and grabbing you. Don't sit there and be like, stop, what are you doing? What are you doing? Women want to know if you got a little bit of aggression in you, and it doesn't have to be aggression in the form of violence. It doesn't have to be aggression in the form that's going to scare them. It actually, and if anything, it's going to scare them in a way that they know, okay, this man can be dangerous, but he's going to not be dangerous with me. That's really what they want to know. If you're sitting back, hey, stop playing, girl, stop playing. You could do that, but you're going to do it in a way that you're going to turn it around and then say, yeah, I picked you up. I told you stop messing with me. Boom, you got to do it like that. You got to turn it around. Don't be afraid of showing a little bit of aggression, because that's literally what's going to make you look more like a man. Don't let the woman, because sometimes that is a test from a woman. Women want to know that their man has the ability to be aggressive. You don't always have to be aggressive. They want to know that you have the ability to be. And if they don't see it from you when you're in a one-on-one situation at all, they're not going to trust that you're going to be aggressive in public if you actually need it to be. This is all the stuff that boils down to masculinity right here, masculine energy. Show them your masculine energy in these moments. You never have to say, girl, I'll knock. You don't say nothing like, no, girl, I'll knock you out. You just be like, girl, you know I'm stronger than you. You better chill out. And then you show her how strong you actually are. And she'll be like, ooh, dang. I didn't know he could move me like that. Chances are, depending on your situation, y'all could probably go just move to the bedroom just like that. You don't know how many times I done started an interaction by literally picking the woman up, and she be like, oh, take me to the bedroom. Oh, I'll be like, oh, okay. I thought we was just play fighting. And so, carry her to the bedroom. Now, my back be struggling sometimes, but I always get a woman that I could pick up at least. My back be struggling, trying to get to the bedroom without hitting the head against the wall. I think I done hit somebody's knee up against the wall trying to get through the doors. But at least what I'm saying is I set up that situation by being able to pick her up, getting physical with her because she was getting physical with me, but you do it in a way that turns them on. There's no woman that you can find that really likes a guy that don't want them to be able to pick them up. You crazy if you don't believe that. All right, Pickle, you what you saying? You saying many women provoke me on purpose just to get a physical reaction with me. They wanted to feel the strength. That's right. That's why I said that's the way women flirt. You think they're trying to be violent or something. Nah, they telling you they like you. They telling you, "Ooh, please touch me. Please do something to me." And y'all don't get it. Y'all be thinking, "Oh, women this, women that, women don't know how to listen." They giving you the framework to be a leader. They giving you the framework to be a leader. Sometimes men have to pick up on signs to know when a woman wants to be led. That's where a lot of men fail. They say women don't want to be led. It's actually that men don't know where to pick up on the signs. That's why I'm talking about this. That's a clear sign. This first reason I'm talking about, that's a clear sign she wants to be led to the bedroom. She wants to be led to some physical interaction. And guys are dropping the ball on some of the leadership signs that the woman is giving them. Because if the woman was starting all the interactions first, then technically she's the leader. She's just giving you a hint. Like, think about the old traditional way. I don't know if this napkin is dirty or not. But anyway, think about that old traditional thing you seen back in the day, like the 1950 wife, where they be like, oh, I dropped my handkerchief. And then they act all helpless because it's a sign they want you to take some action. That's what the signs are like from women. They'll do something, and then you just supposed to pick it up like, oh, I dropped my handkerchief. Now, what are you gonna do about it? How are you gonna lead the interaction from there? So that's why I say, man, guys, they touch you. They only gonna touch guys they're interested in. Trust me, women ain't touching ugly guys that they don't want to touch. They're not touching ugly guys that they don't want to be touched back by. Trust me, they will stay far and away from them. They going if a woman's close up in your face, talking to you, and they locking eyes, they breathing on your lip. They want some physical touch in some kind of way. Sometimes you can touch a woman without your hands. That's one of my best ways to do it. Believe it or not, you got to get creative with it. Make them desire a little bit something. If you give them your hands too quickly, then it takes away a little bit of the mystery. Make them want you to touch them with your hands. Like literally get close to them. Like literally be up on their face, just like this. Be all up on them. Like let your chest touch them or something. Let your arm just touch them, and just let it sit there because that's going to actually build tension. So find a way to physically get into touch, but most of the time the woman's going to give you that sign first. All right. So that's the first way. That's the first way that you're going to tell that a woman is high interest because one, you only going to deal with women that actually are interested in you. Now, the second way that you're going to be able to tell that a woman is highly interested in you is if she asks you questions about you. Like they got to be able to ask you questions about your personal life, your day, things like this. I've made this mistake before. Out here dating before, I've made the mistake where you so interested in trying to get the woman to like you, you're trying to ask her all these questions and interview her, and you don't realize the girl's not asking you no questions back. She answering your questions, and you thinking, oh, this ain't going nowhere, or dang, she don't know how to talk that well. That's because she don't like you, bro. She don't like you think. You filling up some time. Pickle, you said it's better when you get her to break the touch barrier first. That's exactly what I was saying at the end. Yeah, let her. She has to do something first to touch you to let you know she wants to be touched back. That's right. That's right. So yeah, like I said, if they don't ask you any personal questions about yourself, they're not interested in you. Women that are interested in you, they trying to break down everything about you. They trying to figure out your life. They trying to figure out your thoughts. They trying to figure out what you like. And if you're not getting any questions about any of this stuff, they don't like you the way you think. If your interactions with women are where she's only just telling you about her day, telling you about her stuff, that's not because she's really interested in you. She likes the fact that you listen, but that's not the same as somebody being attracted to you. Any woman that's attracted to you, they asking you questions trying to figure you out. Women love when they gotta try to figure out a man. So that's why if you talk too much, maybe she didn't even ask you all that stuff you telling her anyway. Let her wonder about some of the stuff she gotta ask you. And then get playful with it. Don't even answer her questions direct all the time. Sometimes just play with it. Like she'd be like, "What do you do Saturday?" And you be like, "Oh, yeah, you already know what I was doing." You don't have to be direct with it. Let her think more. She's like, "Oh shoot, what does that mean?" So then that's why you can start a playful conversation, but she's gonna keep asking you questions if she is interested. Think about that when you're in a dating situation. Even if you got a wife or something, your wife come home. I mean, you come home to your wife and your girlfriend. She ain't ask you nothing about you, about your day, what you like, what you want. Don't ask you what you want for dinner. Like you got to pay attention to all this stuff. They're gonna ask you questions when they like you, when they really are interested in you. So baby boy said, "Yeah, I did that too." When I was asking all them questions, they will keep the conversation going. That's right. Women will keep the conversation going because you're something to talk to. I literally had there was a girl that I dated. Oh, I'll say woman. There was a woman that I dated, and she offered to take me on a vacation. Believe it or not, see y'all guys don't know nothing about that. Y'all think it's all about you spending money on women. She offered to take me on a vacation, so we at the beach chilling because she took me out there. She had the setup, and I just rolled with her. We out there talking, and we walking on the beach chilling. She's telling me a story about a guy that she dated before me, and everything she's saying about the guy, I'm picking up on it. I said, why were you talking to this guy? Hold up, let's stop the story. I said, it don't sound like you were really that interested in this guy. Can you tell me why were you talking to this guy? Were you really interested in him? And guess what she said? She said, well, I was I needed something to do. I didn't have anybody to talk to at the time. I was bored. She said he filled a good space in my life. But then again, she's telling me all these stories about how the woman was driving to see him like an hour and a half sometimes just to hang out with him. This is the lengths that women will go sometimes just because they have nothing else to do. It doesn't mean they like you. She was driving like an hour and a half to see him sometimes, or he'd drive an hour and a half to see her, and she wasn't even enjoying a lot of the interactions. And I could tell by the way she explained the story between these two. And so she just said, I had nothing going on at that time. I had no person I was talking to, nobody I was dating, nothing interesting was happening in my life. So he filled up a good chunk of space. I said, dang. Now, me hearing that, what do you think I did with that woman? Like, we weren't in a actual like relationship. Like, we we was together for some time. We did some things, and that was that. Even at that time that we was at the beach, I hadn't talked to her in months. I hadn't smashed her in months, and she still invited me out to the beach. Now, but after I hear that, what do you think? I say, okay, this girl likes to waste guys' time. Granted, they're not going to waste the guy's time that they really, really like, though. They're not going to. So I said, well, I guess I'm going to be mindful of my time. Like you only got to spend time with chicks or women when it actually is free time for you. Don't go out of your way to break your schedule for them. So like I didn't have nothing to do, and I work a normal job. I said, oh, I got time, plenty of time off I can request. So I requested time off. She gonna take me down to the beach. So don't let it be anything that's gonna be an inconvenience to you. It wasn't an inconvenience to me to spend time with her because you never know. Sometimes they can just be using you. But if they ask you all the questions when you're talking, they really interested in you. They really trying to find everything about you. And you don't have to answer every question directly. Make it a little bit fun. Like that's one thing I haven't made a video on yet that can counteract a lot of this stuff that I see, like the dating advice on YouTube and TikTok and all this stuff. And you see like red pill content. Nobody's talking about like if you are going to go on a date, the reason why men aren't liking it is one, you forget to have fun while you're on a date. You forget to have fun while you're hanging out. That's why I don't have bad dates because the date gonna be fun for me, and I'm gonna be worried about myself having fun. And you just gonna either like it, and that's gonna be it. And guys forget that. Guys forget you supposed to have fun. If you trying so hard to impress the woman, you're gonna end up a loser. You end up a loser 100% of the time. That's why women don't like those type of guys. Women like, and they say women like the guys that are not interested in them. It's not necessarily that they aren't interested. In most of those cases, I wasn't not interested in those women that really like me. It's I'm focused on me enjoying myself so much that they want to be a part of it. They want to see more of you. They want to be around your energy more because you got to have good energy for a woman to want to be around you. And you have to be someone that's going to set boundaries if they cross one of them. That's the only difference. So a lot of this day advice where they're saying, "Oh, don't date at all." Look, date people, but have fun with it if you're going to do it. If you are going to do it. Now, I'm going to tell you, I made a video on this. If you don't have money, don't be dating. Honestly, women cost money whether you're inside a relationship or not. I don't care if you hate it or not. That means you just don't have enough money for yourself. If you hate it, if you hate that idea, that just means you don't have enough money for yourself. That's okay. You can work on yourself. You can grind. Get some more money for yourself. And then you'll be fine having fun and adding women to the mix along the way. But first, get yourself straight. Get yourself straight. Add more money to your life and you won't mind. Like, you go on a date. Look, you should have events and social stuff planned for yourself, whether or not you're dating somebody, whether or not you're in a relationship. And if you wanted to date somebody, all you have to do is hit up a woman that you know, or either even if you were using a dating app, which dating apps are not really that great, but if you all about having fun, just remember that dating is supposed to be fun. That's the number one thing. Prioritize your fun and your happiness, and everything else will trickle down from there. So even if you went on a dating app, what I do is already have my event planned for what I'm going to do for the weekend. If I'm going to go to a festival because it's something I'm interested in, now I know either I'm going to find a woman to go to the festival with, or I'm going to talk to a woman at the festival. Either way, I'm going to have fun at the festival, and then a woman may or may not be involved. That's all you got to do. And if you invite a woman out on a date to a festival or whatever, make sure you have fun. Don't even try to ask so many questions sitting here like interviewing her, y'all in a fun place, festival. There are times, but just enjoy yourself. That's all they really need to see. They need to see, does this guy enjoy his life? If this guy doesn't enjoy his life, then she's not going to be attracted to you. So don't sit there and focus on them all the time. The focus still has to be on you if you're going to be successful, no matter what it is. So, like I said, the two ways to tell: one, that woman's touching you. Any type of physical touch where she's initiating it, it could be playful. It could seem like she's trying to play fight with you. That's it right there. That's the go button. Like I said, if you can pick them up, pick them up. Like if they play fighting with you, go ahead, scoop them up, bear hug them, something. Even I'll tell you one little secret thing I do is the little butt pockets. If they're wearing jeans, the butt pockets, I'll lift them up by the butt pocket sometimes just to show how strong I am. That's a little game for you right there. Pick them up by the butt pockets, like or grab their jeans and pull them closer to you, like simple stuff like that. Grab the front of their jeans, pull them in closer to you. You got to learn all these different subtle ways to show that you picking up what they're putting down because that's all women do. They put down little pieces of bait like that. They're going to put down bait and you got to know how to pick it up. Some guys are forcing bait. They think they're seeing bait. That's another topic. It's hard. Now, some guys don't really see it at all. That's why I'm trying to make the distinction for you. They have to be touching you in a way that it just seems very playful. That's the number one way. And then number two is if they don't ask you any questions, if they're not asking questions, they're not that interested. Like, for instance, I had a woman, especially if you're talking to a woman that you've known for a little bit, and she says, "How old are you?" Right there, she don't need to know your age for anything. If y'all both adults, that's the number one way I can tell. I've had at least two women do that to me recently, as far as asking questions. I remember I was talking to a woman. I was out somewhere in public, and I've seen her around multiple times. And this one day, I done seen her about three or four times, and we're having this conversation, chopping it up. Now she's married. She was married, as that's what she said. But anyway, she's talking to me, and out of nowhere, we laughing, joking. She's just said, "Hey, how old are you?" That's it right there. Why she asking how old I am? They ain't got nothing to do with whether I can make you laugh, whether the conversation good. When they start trying to figure out how old you are, like I said, they got to ask you some personal questions. How old are you? I mean, you could say old enough to blow your back out, but that's probably not going to work in certain situations. Now, I would never talk to a married woman that way. If you know the chick is single, then you could go for that. You can go for the old enough to blow your back out, but that's still very strong. Overall, I would never make a lot of sexual references when talking to women because you want them to think about that more than you do. So I usually just try to shrug it off and be like, I'll say, how old do you think I am? Or I'll just say, I'm old enough. Because, like I said, if you don't answer women's questions directly, that's what they like anyway, because women aren't direct creatures. They like to have a little bit of fantasy and thought in their mind. So make the thought last a little bit longer. Make the fantasy last a little bit longer. Make them guess sometimes. I'm not saying to do it with every sentence when you're talking to women because that can get annoying. But don't sometimes just don't answer straight up and say, "How old are you?" I'm like, I'm in my 20s. You can say something like that, or where you think I'm at. Or you can just straight up ask them. If you wanted to go a little bit more straight up, you could say, I think I know why you're asking that. And then you let them go from there. So you give them a little bit back, throw it back at them, and y'all play with that conversation. You don't have to go ahead and just be like, boom, I'm 40. Why? How old are you? That's not how women want to have conversations. They don't want it to be very direct back and forth answers. That's how men talk, and we're okay with that. We like talking like that. But women, you gotta lead the fantasy on a little bit, and it's not about lies. It's just women like when you give them something to think about. So that woman asked me, that married woman, she said, "How old are you?" I said, "Uh, I'm probably not. I'm probably a little bit older than what you think." And then I leave it at that. And she's like, "Oh," and she asked more questions. That's the key. Late, long story short, this woman, after that one time, I've sure enough confirmed it. She started bringing me protein bars because she saw me with a tank top on. She knew I had muscle. She started bringing me protein bars every time we were out in this public place that we were in because she was just like, "Ooh, I could tell he needs some protein." So she'd bring it and say, I figured you wanted these protein bars. I brought some fruit. You want these fruit?" Like, she's now investing herself into me. I didn't tell her anything, but that's these are signs. That's what I'm saying. You can see signs. They're clear signs that women are giving you. Do I bite at every sign? No, I do not. You can set yourself up. I believe there was an interview on the Breakfast Club with Stephen A. Smith. He was talking about M.A. Udoka's situation, and Stephen Smith even said it himself. He said, "Man, in some situations, I feel like it's a setup, or either I just know it's too good to be true." He said, "You can't bite at everything that comes your way." Now, his situation he explained on the Breakfast Club interview was a little bit different, but this is true, guys. With anything, any situations with women, you can't bite at everything that comes your way. I don't care if you're gonna get. Sometimes you might get desperate. I get it. Every now and then you're gonna be through a drought and all this stuff. The key is you got to get to a point where it doesn't phase you as much to not always take everything that comes your way. Because you could be offered some poison sometimes thinking that you about to get candy. So that's why that married woman, I didn't bite at it. I understand the signs. I peep game. I get that this is her way of flirting and telling me things, so I know, yeah, if I wanted this to go any direction, I could take it there. And that's cool. You always got to be able to recognize that game from women because they don't really have like ways to like spit game at you or flirt. So that was one woman right there where I could tell instantly just by the question she's asking me, like, "Why are you asking my age?" Of course, older women ask this question. Women that are older than you and they know it, they try to figure it out. Like, "Ooh, where is he at? Is he too young for me to mess with, or is he right around my age?" Sometimes those women have fantasies about messing with younger, fit guys, younger, hotter, fit guys because they have like a husband or a boyfriend who's just like fat and rich, and they're not attracted to him that way. They like that he provides. Like, yes, she's got a stable life, but they're in their mind, what they're actually thinking is, "Ooh, if I could just sneak away one night, if there was one day that I could just sneak away and see what this young, fit guy is like, that's all I need." And that's really how they think. They think if I could just sneak away with this guy for one night, I wish he would invite me somewhere out and I would just say yes. And then we're gonna meet up and then I'll go back to my husband and lay down in the snuggly old bed and all this stuff. That is what they be wanting to hear, believe it or not. And you don't take the bait. If not, if they're married. If they just got a boyfriend, that's up to you. If you want to take that, I usually try to mess with women I don't think have boyfriends. Women that just talking to other guys, that's okay. That's gonna be almost a lot, all of them nowadays. And then Same thing. I even had that happen last week too. That same second example where we're talking about high interest. I've been talking to this woman that I've known for months now, and there's nothing physical between us. I have specific reasons why I don't go further at all with that person. But we were just having a long talk, and then out of nowhere they just asked, "So how old are you? How old are you?" Like, well, why does that matter? Why do you need to know my age for everything that we've been talking about? Why does that matter? I'll never ask them their age back. I don't even care. Like, oh, okay. But like, unless you think they're under 18, you better ask, or ask to see some ID specifically. But I don't usually mess with girls that I don't know for sure are under 18 for obvious reasons. But she just said, "How old are you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm in my 30s." So I said, "You don't like them young boys anyway." This woman was actually in her 40. She was about right at 40 or 41. So most of the time, I'm not that interested in a woman that's like 40, 41. But I will. They can still get laid down. Don't get me wrong. So this is these questions. They start asking you about personal life. Even ask you about your schedule. That's another one. Same woman asked me, so what's your schedule like? What days are you usually free throughout the week? And the reason they gotta ask that is because they can tell you're busy. They can tell that you on your purpose and you doing your own thing. When a woman can tell that you're so invested in your life in your own world that they gotta ask when can they fit themselves in or when do you have time free, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Like half of the times that I've been around women, the last few interactions, is because the woman asks me when is my schedule free, and then they fit into it. I'm usually not asking the woman to jump in on my stuff unless I'm really, really free. Like I say, oh shoot, I don't have nothing to do on Saturday. I'm gonna go ahead and plan this and then see if she can rock with me on Saturday. That's the only time I might do something like that. But most of the other last few interactions is me. I'm chilling. I'm at home. Sometimes I'm making YouTube videos. Sometimes I'm doing other stuff. But I always try to stay focused. So a lot of the women, they ask me. Like I had another woman. She said, "Oh, what are you doing on Sunday? Do you want to come walk with me in the park?" And now I get to choose. I got all the leverage. Now I'm thinking, do I want to take up any of my time to walk in the park? I could do it. I could tell her, oh yeah, I got 30 minutes, or oh yeah, I got an hour, and leave it at that. But you leave yourself where they gotta ask for your time because you always busy, you working on something. That can work in your relationships too. I'm not telling you to sabotage yourself, but in your relationships too, your woman should see you busy with something. That's where guys get complacent. You want to relax. I get it. You want to relax because you got home, you worked, and all that stuff. But over time, if your woman stops seeing you doing something that's leading towards something, they're gonna lose a little bit of fire for you because that's what's attracted to women is knowing that you're working towards something. And when they can see that you're not, it turns them off a little bit. So the women that aren't around me a lot, they know that oh he's absorbed in his life, he's doing something. So now they gotta ask, hey, you want to hang out this day? Hey, do you have free time this day? And then you got all the leverage to choose, and you can slot them in wherever they fit. Say, yeah, I'll be available at 3 p.m. Does that work for you? Or you could just say, yeah, I have time from like 3 to 6. And then let them choose if they can fit in there. If they can't, you just continue on with your day. You should have your day planned out. As a man, you should have your days planned out. Even if it's a day where you don't have to work, in your head, you should have planned out what you're going to do today, around what times, even down to like sometimes what foods are you going to eat for the day. That goes back to body game. Sometimes you need to even know what foods are you possibly going to eat throughout the day. Like I already know for tomorrow morning, my possibilities for what I'm going to eat is I'm probably going to eat steak and eggs for breakfast with grits. If I wanted something else, I could probably have a protein pancake. Then I know, oh, when I go to work, if I want, I'm probably going to have an omelet or I'm going to either eat, if they have something special in the cafeteria where I work, I'm going to eat that. And then when I come home from dinner, I already know I'm probably going to eat chicken rice, and vegetables. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have something. You gotta have a plan as a man. And women don't like it sometimes when you're very straightforward and strict like this. That's okay. Every now and then, you can stray from it, but most of the time, if a woman can pull you off your own schedule, they will start to lose respect for you just a little bit, even though you think, yeah, I'm making them happy at this time. But generally, you don't want anybody, you don't want another woman or another person taking you off track from your goals. So that's the thing that you're gonna have to get a woman that understands your path, understand your goals, understand your lifestyle, understand how you're gonna live, because other than that, they're not going to really respect you if they can take you off of it at any point. If they could just derail you, they don't respect that. And when a woman does not respect you, they cannot love you the way that you want to be loved. This is why I had one girl that she would say, she said to me yesterday, she said, "You're like a rock. I can't move you." And then I said, "Okay." I said, "That's right." She said, "But you just don't give up. You don't let up for nothing." And that's what they're gonna do. Women are gonna test you in a way where they're gonna try to move you, and you got to be a rock because they're gonna respect it at the end of the day. So that, like yesterday, they were saying I'm a rock. I'm so mean. I'm so like stubborn. I don't. I can't be moved. I don't listen to everything they say. But come today, that same, excuse me, that same person was all in my face. Same person that says, "Oh, you like a rock. I can't persuade you. I can't do this to you." It's that challenge. That's what a man is. A man is rock solid, stoic, stoicism, guys. I got a video on that. If you haven't looked at that, go back and look at the video that I had on stoicism. If you don't understand what stoicism is, it's the fact that you do have emotions and things, but it's just you don't always express it so freely that anybody could just pull it up out of you. You are in control of it. You're in control of how you express your emotions and thoughts, but you don't let a lot of events around you. Don't let a lot of what people are saying to you affect it. Like, if someone does something that does get you riled up emotionally, we're gonna break into topic three because that's actually going into leadership now. So now we can talk about that. Like, the number three topic that we got for today is how to become a leader. Yeah, how to become a leader, because one of the biggest ways to become a leader is going to be based on this right here, is stoicism. Stoicism is literally one of the best ways to become a leader. When you don't know any leaders that are highly emotional, I'm going to tell you that right now. Like, you don't know leaders that react emotional for everything. Those people don't seem to come off as good leaders, even if they somehow found themselves in that position. Think about if you came up to a boss or anybody like that and you tell them that everything's on fire, everything's turned blowing up. If you see that person panic when you tell the boss or the leader that everything's blowing up, you're gonna kind of panic and lose respect now, because like, oh, if he don't know what to do, if he panicking, now everybody else below him is gonna panic. Everybody else below him is not gonna stick to the plan. Everybody else is not gonna be level headed. That's what he's for. That's what the leader is, and that's you. As a man, as a leader, that's why stoicism is so important. No matter what they tell you about being super emotional, uh, real great leaders aren't super emotional. Not initially, not like outright for responding to stuff. You can't, because if you become super emotional to a response, any response that you're gonna give, now it means you're gonna lack logic in some way. And leaders are best when they think with logic, not their emotions. That's why a lot of men do good in leadership positions. And so that's why I got to talk about like ways to become a leader. And one number one way is learning to be more stoic. Learning how when somebody tells you something that they think should affect you, you got to learn how to just take it and process it. Sometimes you can't react immediately emotionally. You got to be able to just say, "All right, I'm going to take care of it." That should be your response. Or you ask more questions to get more information so you can deal with it properly. Deal with it with logic, not emotion, because motion gets people deleted. That's really what happens. You go into a situation, you say, "Oh, somebody did what?" You the leader now. They come to you, "Hey, so and so did this to your car. So and so did what?" You go out there and get your brains. splattered because you didn't even logically think about how to handle the situation. Like that's what people don't talk about. People talk about trying to overly present themselves as gangster and all this stuff. You're gonna mess yourself up if you don't learn how to be a leader by being stoic. That's one way is learning stoicism. And another way is, one second, I gotta answer this text real quick. Tell me if y'all enjoying the stream or if y'all got some other topics I want to go into after I finish this third when I'm answering this text real quick. Just something important I gotta respond to. Give me a second here. Sorry for that. All right, all right. But yeah, shout out to everybody watching so far. Uh, Appreciate any support. I have not brought up the cash apps here, just in case I got any donations. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and continue on. And so we talked about being stoic, guys. You got to be. Let me sign out of this cash app and sign into my other one. All right, so we talked about being stoic, man. Now the other thing is, in order to become a leader in any situation, sometimes you don't even have to fight for the leadership position. Like a real leader is selected by other people. Like people should just start seeing you as a leader. And the one way they'll do that is if you are somebody that just takes action, that takes initiative on things that they believe, that's what's going to show people that you truly are a leader. There have been many situations in my life where people have asked me to be a leader, even when I didn't even care to be. And it's because they see sometimes I just call a shot and I just go with it. And I do it with confidence. And that's what people need. They need somebody that makes decisions in confidence, somebody that's going to be creative or be themselves when they make a decision. And that's a lot of what I've done in a lot of situations. I remember even when I was in college, um, we were working on a class project to graduate. And we had like 10 people in our class, and there was already a leader that was selected for our group. And this leader was not that great to everyone. So when we did the group meetings and stuff like that, I was being so much like I was taking so much initiative and helping make sure everybody got everything straight. People started talking in the group saying, man, you should probably be the leader, man, because you look like you know what you're doing. You got ideas, you're confident. And I never even wanted to be the leader. I just said, nah, man, I'm just trying to make sure we all pass. I'm trying to make sure we get this done the right way. I'm trying to make sure everybody stays on top of stuff. That's all I care about. It doesn't matter about a leadership position to me. So what happened is we get into the classroom on maybe like week 3 of the class project. There's probably 8 weeks. The teacher got so much feedback from the other students. He said, you know what? Everybody, everybody wants to select a different leader for the group project. So right now we're going to do a vote for a new leader to lead the class project. So they said, who wants to nominate themselves to be a group leader, and we'll take votes. So nobody raised their hand. Of course, you know how it is in classrooms. Nobody raised their hand, and then all of a sudden, people are just like, "Yo, why don't you just get him to do it?" And they was talking about me. They said, "Why don't you get Rebirth to do it?" My name ain't Rebirth, but anyway, they said, "Why don't you get Rebirth to do it?" And I'm like, "Me?" And multiple people started saying this. They was like, "Yeah, we want him to be the leader." And I was like, oh, shoot, I'm feeling bad because the dude that was the actual leader, he looking at me like, yo, did you set this up? I'm looking at him like, hey, I don't even want to be the leader. But the teacher looked at me and he knew why they were saying that because he knew how I worked. He knew how I operate. He said, you know what? That's a great idea. You're going to be the leader, Rebirth. I said, dang, what? I'm the leader? I don't even want to be. And I got many stories just like that. That's how it's going to be. When you are somebody that takes initiative, people just want you to be a leader because they like, I feel like he's a leader even if he ain't calling himself that. If anybody has watched Game of Thrones, that same thing happened in Game of Thrones with the character Jon Snow. When you really look at the show, Jon Snow became the leader when he didn't even care to be the leader because people saw how he took action. They saw the decisions he made. Granted, I think as somebody watching the show, I think he made a lot of dumb decisions. But at the same time, the way it was depicted to the characters in the story, he made so many decisions. He was out on his own doing things he actually believed in, and he was doing it with confidence. And that's what people see as leadership qualities. being confident and making decisions and doing things that you truly believe in. And you don't even have to ask people to come with you all the time. Sometimes they just going to want to follow you. Just like another example from Game of Thrones was Khaleesi. Once she was on her tirade, she was taking over different cities and stuff like that. It got to a point where she had defeated that town. I don't remember the name of the town, but they had a bunch of slaves in that town. And she was like, you know what? You can be free. You don't have to join my army and come with me on this conquest where I'm taking over the world, baby. She said, I'm taking over the world, but you ain't even got to come with me. And she said, y'all are free if y'all wanna stay here. And guess what? Everybody in the show did. All those soldiers that were slaves, they was like, man, I want her to be my leader. Screw that. I'm going with her. And that's what it's gonna be like for you. That's what it's gonna be like for you when you are confident in yourself. You take an action. You know which direction you're gonna go. People are just gonna follow you regardless. And that's why you gotta stay up on that, because some people forget you sitting here trying to follow what you think other people want you to do. It's okay to play by some of the rules. At sometimes you gotta know what spot do you fit in where you can create a new branch, or at least go in your own lane and be confident in it, and don't try to shut down anybody else's stuff. Just do your own thing. When people can see that you're doing your own thing, you know what you're doing, you're confident in it, they will want to come with you. They will want to come with you. They're going to want to stay with you. They're going to want to rock with you. Trust me on this. This is not made up. I've got another story. That was in college now. Even with even when I worked at a gym, and I started off as a normal personal trainer. And then there was a person that left that was over all the trainers there. She was a personal training director. So she left, and it was like, we got to fill the position. It was like, who do we get to fill the position? And the owner came up to me and said, yo, I want you to fill the position, Rebirth. I'm like, me? Why me? And she was like, you just have the best ideas. You take initiative. Like, the fact that I go my own way with a lot of stuff, like, just like sometimes you come up with your own ideas and just roll with it. That's what you got to do. If you come up with an idea, sometimes it's best to not even ask permission if you can execute it. If you start executing first, and then, even if it's your boss, you start executing first and their boss asks you, why did you do that? And you explain it and it makes sense, they'll be like, oh, shoot, that makes sense. Or, dang, I appreciate the initiative. And you thinking, they call it initiative, but you thinking, I'm just doing what I want to do. And I make sure it's not a detriment to others. That's the thing. When you come up with something new and you start implementing it, you do have to consider whether or not it's going to be beneficial to others or a detriment. You need to be doing it for the good of other people too. Make sure they can get something out of it. Don't just do something just because you're being completely selfish. It has to be somewhat selfish, but it does have to help or benefit somebody else, or else nobody's going to want that when you're only doing things to benefit yourself at the detriment of others. So that's why that gym owner, she said, I want you. I want you to be a leader. I'm like, man, I don't even want to be. I don't even want to be a leader. But I was like, all right, because you can't be scared. You can't be afraid to step up into some leadership positions. That's just part of a man. Just like when you get into a relationship with a woman, that's it. You the leader, and some guys get scared in that leadership position. I'll be honest with you. I've done it before. So there's no shame in it. Sometimes you don't really understand what your leadership role is, your position is, and unless you learn it, you're gonna fail every single time. That's where some guys go wrong in relationships. They miss the signs. Like I said earlier in today's stream, they miss the signs that the woman does want you to lead them. And I can give another example on that is I remember I was dating a woman who called herself a feminist. She outright called herself a feminist from when I first met her. But so that would automatically imply that she doesn't want a man to just lead her in a traditional sense. That's what you would think, right? But this woman now, when I would go to her house or whenever I was around her, I guarantee you, she wanted me to plan out what our night was going to be like. She wanted, if I chose to sit there and not do anything and say that we're going to watch this movie tonight, she would do that because she was expecting me to lead. Like, if I messed up, this is where guys mess up. They ask the woman, so what do you want to do tonight? What do you want to do today? This is why are you giving up your leadership? How about you just pick something And then she will do it if she's interested, or she'll tell you if she's not interested. You can go from there. But that's really where a lot of guys messing up. You asking her too many questions. They don't want to be answering questions all the time. They just want to see something that you're doing or see the direction you're going and say, oh, okay, I'm doing what you're doing. This is why you can get a lot of women into some of your hobbies, not all of them. Because if they just see that you're into something, they can try at least sometimes to like what you're doing or at least try it out. And so that's how that one was. She was saying she was a feminist, but if I didn't take any action and tell her what we were doing for the night, she would be lost. I could see the look on her face. And I did it. It took me a while to figure it out. I'm like, dang, so this chick really waiting for my instructions. Like even if she getting a little bit bored, that's what some guys don't realize. Your woman will be bored because she's waiting for your directions and she won't tell you. She will look bored and she will act bored. But she won't tell you that she's bored because you didn't tell her what to do. You didn't tell her where you want what y'all wanted to do. What's the plan for tonight? And I know you're gonna say that's gonna get tiresome, but that is just the part of being in leadership. Sometimes you're literally gonna have to be on 24/7. You're gonna have to be on 24/7 when it comes to leadership. It's a job. I hate to tell you that. And so even when you're in a relationship, becoming a leader, being a leader basically is sometimes you have to be really okay with telling the woman what you want her to do. And in a way, sometimes you basically have to keep her from like not being bored when she's around you because they will be bored because they're waiting for your leadership. Believe it or not, that's what it comes down to. And you just got to step up to the plate. I hate to tell you that, man. It's rough. It's a job. I know. That's why, for me, I do choose to not do that at this time. I don't need to work any harder or hire any other employees. I'm just managing myself like a business, like we talked in the last stream. But that is part of being a leader, man. Is understanding you're gonna have to lead people. That means sometimes in uncomfortable situations, you are telling them what to do, and you got to do it in an assertive manner. Assertive means you just say what you want. Don't make it all questions. Questions are very passive. There are polite ways to ask somebody to do something, but there are also polite ways to tell somebody what you want them to do. You say, hey, I need you to go here and pick this up. I'd like for you to do that for me, please. That's assertive, but you still are asking politely versus, hey, can you do me a favor? I know everybody hates that phrase. Somebody come up to you right now. Hey, can you do me a favor? You be like, man, what do you want? Just say it. I'd rather you just ask the question at that point. Skip that one sentence. You could delete that whole sentence. The can you do me a favor is so passive. It makes people sick. It makes people upset when you say that. I literally hate that. Like it makes me mad when somebody comes to me that passive. I say what you want. I'm teaching them how to be a servant. Just say what you want. I don't care if I don't even like it. And that's how you got to be. Now you see how you start coming off when you asking people questions sometimes when you want something or need something. You coming off so weak. This is why they're more reluctant to do what you want them to do or give you what you want to get because you coming off so weak. They don't even believe that you really want it like that. Versus I'd rather somebody just say, hey, I need a ride to the store. Can you please take me? I'd rather you just say that versus can I get a favor from you? I got a favor to ask. Literally ask the favor. I don't care about this little setup question that you're trying to do. And you don't realize the same thing happens to you when you're out there talking to people. Don't be sitting here asking all these questions. Like right now, how would you feel if I said, "Oh, did y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel?" You realize that's why you don't hear that on YouTube. When somebody says, "Hey, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, put a thumbs up here, go donate to my Cash App," but people say that because that's assertive. That's more likely to get you to do it. If I say, "Hey, how many of you subscribe to my YouTube channel?" You ain't gonna that don't get you to want to take no action. Just like why you remember Kevin Samuels when he was live streaming, he'd tell you to get the likes up. And just because it's assertive, it's not that it's not mean or forceful. They telling you get the likes up. You watch if you ever watch Fresh and Fit, any live stream, they telling you because you got to be assertive to get things from people in this world. They don't ask you to say, "Hey, can you like my video, please?" Hey, would you mind donating to my channel? No, you can't talk like that, especially if you're a leader. Leaders just tell people what to do, and sometimes it might come off rude. It's not about that though. It's sometimes just saying what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Don't be afraid. And it's going to be hard transition for some of you if you don't practice this all the time. If you don't always talk like this, you're going to be scared to talk like this. I had those same issues when I first started trying to get better. You're going to be scared. You're going to realize that's how you realize something is wrong when you're afraid to be assertive. That's actually part of being a man, though. Being assertive is part of being a man. So now you can't be afraid of your own manhood. Think about that. That's important. Being assertive is part of being a man, and it's also what's going to make you a better leader. People can't follow you when you're passive. They're not going to respect you long term. Long term is somebody that's confident in what they're telling you. That's why assertive communication is you being confident in what you're telling somebody. That's why if I had another Facebook channel, I'll say, hey, go to my Facebook page and like my Facebook page, y'all. Like I'm telling you, I wouldn't ask. I wouldn't ask. You got to do that when you're in relationships. You're going to have to do that when you're in business or wherever you're at, your friendships. It's better to be assertive. People respect that more. Sometimes there might be even a little bit of fear. People do become a little bit fearful of somebody that's really assertive, and it's not in a bad way. So some of you are trying to be so soft. You're afraid of somebody being afraid of you sometimes. You need to be okay with that. Everybody's not going to like you. Some people are going to be afraid of the way that you talk to them, and it's not because you're actually an abusive person. Some people are just a little bit softer on the inside that they can't take certain interactions from people, but that's not your responsibility, that's not your fault. And sometimes you're tailoring your message to fit softer people when that's not in reality how the whole world is. The whole world can't tailor to all the softer and weaker people of the world. It's better to just try to make people stronger than to let them just stay weak unless they don't want to grow stronger at all. But the only way they grow stronger is sometimes there has to be something that's going to push them in that direction. Is you have to be pushed by something. There has to be some type of resistance or force that's going to make you become stronger. And that's what you have to do with other people. And don't be afraid that they are weak. Is you be yourself, and if they can't handle the pressure, they're either going to grow with the pressure or they're going to stay where they're at. And you got to be okay with that. And that's the same way it comes with being a leader is I'm going to say what I need to say. I'm going to do the things that I believe in. And if you're not rocking with it, it's okay. I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm going to keep going down my lane until I prove something. That's what happens. Real leaders prove stuff through their actions. This is the reason why I gave you those situations where people wanted me to be leaders in a lot of other situations because most people don't want to make hard decisions. Most people don't want to be leaders. Even in those situations I gave you, I didn't want to be a leader. I even told you I had relationships before where I didn't want to be the leader. But you got to realize as a man, that's just your position, bro. Your position is just being a leader where you like it or not. And if you choose not to play that position, people are going to run over you, and then somebody else is going to be the man over you in a lot of situations. And sometimes it's going to end up being a woman because honestly, that's what some women do. They take over when they see, okay, he choosing not to be a man. He don't want to. I don't have a choice. I still got stuff I need to get done. That's where that comes from. Is women seeing men not even wanting to take the responsibility to be a leader because it's hard. It's hard work. It's a hard job. That's why everybody can't be a business owner. Everybody can't be a CEO because that's one of the reasons why those are the highest paid titles, like in a company as a CEO, because it's going to be hard to be that person and run everything with everything on your shoulders. And that's how your life is as a man. You are the one that's going to be running everything that goes through your life. You're going to be managing other people's lives also, and you got to embrace it. Embrace the fact that people are looking at you to make smart decisions. They're looking at you to make logical decisions. It's all on you. And once you start embracing that, you can become a better leader. Leaders just take the responsibility whether they want it or not. Just like Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. Everybody wanted this man to be a leader. And he's like, look, I'm just trying to accomplish my goals. I'm not trying to lead anything. That's the same thing that happened with me when we talked about in my last stream, where I started working out and getting results and everything. And what happened was, after I started getting results, people started asking me for guidance. They started asking me to tell them how to get their bodies right, how to get fit, how to eat. And people literally nominated me for the leadership position. That's how you know you're doing it right. When people start nominating you to lead them, it's not something that you have to take everything by force. Granted, there are times in history where a lot of great leaders like Alexander the Great, they've taken things by force. Some of that works, but also really great leaders are just selected by others. This when people want you to be leader, it's going to be hard for you to fall because they want you in that position regardless. They already trust you. You're not trying to trick them into trusting you. You're not trying to force them to believe anything because they already believe in you. And that means you just have to build up your integrity as well. Don't You got to make sure you don't lie about stuff. You got to make sure if you say something, that pressure's on you. That pressure's on you to do it. And that's why it's good to set yourself up for some things that you're not 100% sure you could deliver on, but at least 80%. Because when you're at least 80% sure that you can deliver on what you're promising, it's going to still leave that 20% left of pressure to get it done, or you know you're going to ruin your integrity. And when you ruin your integrity, that's it for you as a man. So now you got to remember that's the key thing you're going to hold on to as a leader is your integrity, your word. You give yourself a little bit of room that dang, I could mess this up. I'm not 100% sure if I can do it, but it's going to make me grow if I could force myself to do it. Now, these are the positions you got to put yourself in if you really want to become a leader. And actually, you got to understand the truth is you already are a leader. It's more about whether or not you're going to accept the responsibility. If you are a father or you're in a relationship, you already are a leader. It's about whether or not you're going to accept the responsibility. It's going to be about how you choose to lead while you're in that position because now you're already in a position anyway. When a woman decides to get into a relationship with you, they technically are putting you in a leadership position or at least they're expecting it. And a lot of guys drop the ball on that. A lot of guys are dropping the ball. They get scared to lead because now they wonder if they're going to get bedroom fun. They get scared to lead because the woman's going to leave them. But you can't be worried about all that stuff. If you know what you're doing, you got your goals set. They should just be following along what you're doing, or else they go their own way, you go your own way. That's how a leader rolls, all right? So any other questions about leadership? Because I got a bonus topic I could talk about, but I don't even know if my chat is correct. I feel like um my chat has been stuck for a long time here, and maybe I need to refresh it. Let me type something, or maybe y'all just real quiet tonight. Let me type something here. No, y'all just real quiet. Never mind. But I appreciate y'all listening. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to shut it down if y'all ain't got nothing else. So, because I'm hitting the 1.5 hour mark, which that's what I did last time. But I appreciate y'all sitting here listening. And I know a lot of y'all gonna watch this on the replay that's not watching it right now. But yeah, go ahead and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and I'll catch you on the next one.